What's there to be upset about if you're making 35 million bucks?
How much?
35 million.
Damn.
Dusty Baker says he doesn't sleep much and didn't realize how tired he was until he took his son fishing in New Mexico for some R&R over the All-Star break. One thing keeping him up at night, what to do at third base. The book Game 6 by Mark Frost tells an interesting story. There was a camera operator behind the Green Monster who was dealing with some kind of rodent, and while he was trying to shoo the rat or the mouse away, the camera actually followed Carlton Fisk down the first base line by accident. A famous shot, one that's part of the mystique of Fenway Park. It's way too early to start printing off playoff tickets, obviously. Adding more bats can still happen, but is this Reds offense built for a run in October? Reds owner Bob Castellini is not about to open up his checkbook for right around $100 million this summer to build for the future. Mitchell says he had a hard time during the day thinking about his grandpa, so he started making this journal at school with a couple of passages. Hey Pete, you're going to love this. I'm student of the month for Fort Wright. Here in Washington, D.C., the White House is, of course, where the president and his family lived during his term as commander-in-chief. And Barack Obama is a big college basketball fan. He, like a lot of us, put together an NCAA tournament bracket with one pick in particular that caught the attention of the Bearcats. UConn over UC in the second round to move on to the Sweet 16. Big offseason for you. After 30-plus years as an assistant coach, you got the opportunity that so many football coaches covet to go interview for some NFL head coaching jobs. What was that experience like for you? And how long does that take to kind of, I guess, get over after they pick somebody else? For the first time, camp will be in Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium. The Phillies left the line score up long after the fans here at Citizens Bank Park had gone home. The Zeros tell the story of a dominant performance by Halladay, and one in which he joins Don Larson in the record book as one of two pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball to toss a no-hitter in the postseason. Toughness, grit, determination, all out, all the time desire. These are words and phrases in pretty much every basketball coach's vocabulary, especially Mick Cronin's at UC. This guy used to walk the sidelines here at Roger Bacon. Bill Brewer died unexpectedly in 2007 of a heart attack after moving on to Princeton High School, leaving behind a legacy of memories for his players, 3 daughters, and a wife who remembers being a basket case during that title game in Columbus. You can bet the Bengals will be watching their phones probably for the rest of the season, needing some help to play the football that matters most in January. The first order of business is having the Jets lose so Cincinnati can move into a tie for that last wild card spot in the AFC. I'm Zach Wells here in the Black Hole in Oakland, California, maybe the most avid fan following in all of pro sports. This guy's hometown is Atlanta, Texas. Do you know, I'm going to give you a hint, an NFL executive that built a Super Bowl champion that's also from Atlanta, Texas?
Ted Thompson.
Of the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. How do you know? Did you guys ever play golf or know each other?
I've actually never met Ted, but his family actually went to my church and we were good friends. And
the starting pitching was lights out, especially going up to the All-Star break with that trip on the West Coast. Are you comfortable? I know you're not the general manager. I know you don't make trades. Do you need another bat? Do you need to ignite this offense a little bit? Or are the bats in here capable of lifting you guys to where you want to go in October?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, it's definitely a tough call.
What's one thing you want to say to everybody back in Cincinnati?
Start the first wrap at 10:30. Yeah!
Reds owner Bob Castellini is not about to open up his checkbook for right around $100 million this summer to build for the future. This is a team in Cincinnati with no gaping holes in the everyday lineup, and as the adage goes, is built to win and win now. Jay Bruce has all of 1 hit in this, the Reds' 11th spring training game, Fanning against Kansas City. Homer Bailey pitched 2 scoreless innings. Tony Cingrani gave up a big bomb to Alex Gordon. Picnic blankets mean trouble in Arizona. Mike Moustakas delivered a run-scoring extra base rocket on Jose Arredondo, and the Reds fell to 2-9 with an 8-1 loss to the Royals.
you can look as good as you want on paper, and we look damn good on paper, but you got to go out there and execute. And, we've gotten so close and we just hadn't been able to do it, to the level that we've wanted to yet. But I think everyone expects this to be the year, just like everyone expected it last year and the year before and the year before. But, we've made some headway with, actually doing it. So, I think everyone's excited on the same page.
Okay, I'll ask you, does anything short of a trip to the World Series mean the Reds failed in 2013? You make the call at 345-1212 or log on to local12.com to cast your vote. Opening day's less than a month away. Tonight's about hype and expectations for Dusty's 25. Just how unforgiving can Big East basketball be? Despite not scoring a field goal the last 7 minutes against Connecticut, the Bearcats snapped a 3-game losing streak, only to turn around 51 hours later and go to Louisville. Bracketology, NCAA tournament projections, scoreboards, the coach doesn't want any part of it.
Obviously, production is a big thing, but I think our guys are going to produce more the harder we play, the more we're swarming on the defensive end. So that's our focus, and that takes energy and effort, and guys being healthy, and our bench is going to have to contribute.
NKU coach Dave Beazold and Chris Mack at Xavier were on hand for the 9th region final. Quincy James of Holmes gave the Bulldogs a 4-point lead late in the 4th on Covcath, but Nick Frederick drilled a 3 for the Colonels to pull Covcath within 1. It was 61-60 Holmes, and Covcath got 2 great looks. One from Frederick to go ahead, and later on the baseline, it was too strong. Holmes will go downstate to Rupp 62-60. Notre Dame and Highlands will meet for the Girdles title tomorrow night.